Sup nerds, I'm Wes.
I'm Tom.
Today we're taking a look at Long Cow by Game Right. Games. Ooh.
Done. So Long Cow is a very quick take-that style card game where you're just gathering cards, playing them down to get cows and stuff.
Pseudo set collection.
Sure, yeah. So you're set collecting with the cows and stuff, and then you're playing attack cards on each other. But it's a very... The reason why I emphasize take that first, because that, to me, is the foremost action that happens. It's what determines a lot of things, because I could be playing these cows a whole bunch and making them longer and whatever to try and get more points, but you can just come and, destroy my middle or destroy a whole cow or take a cow from me or, it's a big deal. There's
definitely, if one person is getting dealt all the attack cards, it's just, they're gonna win because, there's way more attack cards than there are defense cards. Mm-hmm. And the attack cards can be so strong that, this nonsense cow over here that has, 5 middle lengths, and you could spend multiple turns getting it that long, and then I play this wolf, it just destroy the entire middle. Mm-hmm. Gone.
Yeah. And so that's really what you're doing, is you're trying to either have the most cows or the longest cow. There is also additional points for first cow, which is a little bit ridiculous, because a cow can just be 2
first player
cards.
Is probably going to win that.
Well, even so, even if it's not first player, but if this is a very big luck of the draw extra point.
Yeah.
Because whoever just happened to get a front and a back that match in the very first hand is going to be the one who gets this.
Yeah, and turn order is probably going to determine who gets that.
Yeah, true. But if first person who got dealt that, who's playing in turn order.
Yeah,
which feels like, I get why they included it, so it wasn't just the 2 different things. You either have, you get points for having them being really long, or points for them there being a lot of them. So they wanted an extra thing. I just feel like this, I don't know, it was kind of like an afterthought where they were like, first one to do it. Okay.
Yeah. And so the only benefit to that is because it's so hard to add middles to your cow, after it's already played, but you can just hold that in your hand until you have exactly, and just play this giant long cow, it does incentivize that person to get something out on the table. And it's only that one time at the very start of the game to get that one bonus point, it can be an incentivizer just to get the game moving.
Yeah, I see that. I get what you're saying, because you are incentivized to hold them in your hand for longer, because you're less, you do have a hand limit, but it is less likely for someone to attack them, the less that's out there on the table. But it feels like almost this was meant to mitigate a problem that isn't that much of a problem.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know what I mean?
But that's a very small part of the whole game.
Yeah, and also this game is very quick.
It's quick, very light.
Very easy, very kid-friendly.
Yeah. It's all about just cartoon cows. Aaron just fell in love with it. He goes, I don't need to play it. Just let's review it. I just look at it. It's cartoony, animal fun. I love it. I don't throw around my favorite very often.
I do think you did kind of do that a little bit, though, because, Wes grew up on a farm. His best friend growing up was a cow. So he's kind of like, oh, yeah, this is a moo cow, and this is a chocolate milk cow. He was like, tell me, that's a bronco. I don't know what types of cows. But he did know them, and he was like, oh, yeah, cows.
The cow is also my son's favorite animal. He sees the cow, and he's like, He's one. You guys have seen him. But it's a really cute game. If you don't have kids or play with kids, then you should not play this game or buy it. But if you do have young kids and they like farm animals, or you just want to get games to play with them, then I do think this is a great option, just because it's cute. I think it's cute.
Yeah. I think that's the fault that this game has, that it's cute and the artwork is cute, but I do think the gameplay is a bit lacking. But I think that might just be, for me, just take that games in general. Like Munchkin. It's just, or like Cul-de-sac Conquest, or anything where you are in control of very, very little. It's just play the hand you're dealt. And if somebody attacks you, if you just happen to not draw a card to combat that, you know, then you're kind of screwed. It kind of feels like in Red Dragon Inn, I could feel that a little bit, but I'm like, yeah, but I'm a little bit more in control because I can, you know, with bidding and stuff, and, you know, there's orders in which I can play cards, I can hold them for here, and, like, I felt like I had a little bit more. And even Munchkin, there was a little bit more control. This one has probably the least amount of control that I've ever seen in a Take That game. But granted, again, it's aimed at kids. It's meant to teach kids, ooh, you can either play these cows right now and it'll be harder to grow them because you need a feed card or a food card or whatever, or you can hold them in your hand for forever to pop them down. But you only have 10 cards in your hand. So it does teach them some, you know, concepts like that.
It does, but I don't even know if this game is like, I don't think it's aiming at like, let's take some complicated functions and mechanics and, you know, strip them down into a light kids game. I think it's more just like, oh, look, it's cows and the box looks like a milk carton and this thing moves. Like,
well, yeah, it's definitely not being sold as an educational game.
Yeah.
I'd say that it does have some decisions, you know, that do happen. There are some, you know, if this is the first game of this type the kid's going to play, he is going to learn some things and go, oh, I could do this now, or I could wait for later.
Yeah.
Ooh, I could draw 2 cards, or I could search through the body parts that have already been discarded. Okay. You know, so there are a few. But yeah, by and large, this is just meant to be just a really fun, wacky, little light game for kids.
So I did honestly had a lot of fun playing this game. Again, it's not a game that I think I'll ever like sit down with just Tom and play it again, ever. But having 2 kids now that are going to be getting older and getting more into games, I think that this is a game that I'm excited to have in my collection to hit the table with them, just to, at that really early age, be like, no, this is something that's going to be a part of your life and you can deal with it.
This is a game that I'm totally fine with Wes having it in his collection, and I would be okay playing it with, you know, his kid when he's old enough. I have some other nieces and nephews who are definitely going to be old enough now. I know, right? So, like, it's fine for that. I think just Take That games in general are not my cup of tea. They aren't that, like, they're fun for what they are, but I think they get old real fast. But again, I don't think you're buying it for an awful lot of substance. You're buying it for a light, little, quick game for your kids, and
that moves.
And that's it. That moves, and that's it. And hey, if that's your MO, if that's what you want to do, we have a purchase link to this game in the description box down below. Go grab yourself a copy.
One way or another, you should definitely subscribe to our channel so you'll never be bored.
Average means 2%.